Hello and welcome to my Voices Have Tourettes, and that's why they call me the Stuttering Stallion. My name is Dan Zerin, and let's get started. Today's episode is brought to you by Gamesless Studio, where we are recording. The Secret Cellar, Iceland's first and only comedy club. It also happens to be one of the only comedy clubs on the planet currently open right now. And finally, Smári's Volcano Sauces, the best hot sauces I've ever had in my life. Highly recommend them. If you're stuck at home, need something to do, and you really, really hate your mouth, buy these sauces online. He'll ship them over to you, and then your mouth will be on fire for the next 5 years. Anyway, let's move on. So those are our sponsors. Today's guest joining me today is a wonderful friend of mine. He recently moved back to Iceland from Spain, where he was living for a while. But he's been a part of my Voices Have Tourettes for quite a while, and so here he is. Hans, welcome to the show.
Woo, yeah, bring it up.
you just like always want so much applause that if you don't get it, you just make it yourself.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely.
So how have you been?
I've been good, man. I'm good. I just came back from Spain from like a long ass quarantine, only to do stand-up comedy, and now I've been doing it for a week.
Was the quarantine here, or was your whole time in Spain the quarantine?
No. I was like it's like I was in quarantine for like from like 14th of like yeah. By the way, this is the reason I was invited on the show, because I also have a bit of a speech impediment. Anyway, so
Wait, you do?
Yeah. Yeah. So I was in quarantine in Spain for like 12 weeks.
Okay.
Then we had like 8 weeks of like semi-quarantine. Came here, had to go into quarantine for 5 days. Have been free now for 6 days. Now apparently everything is going back to shit.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
How are things in Spain though? I mean,
they're like up and down. It's like, because also like Spain is sort of like a huge country,
right?
So it depends like a lot between like regions. So I lived in Alicante.
Yeah.
It's like okay now.
Well, you're Icelandic. I assumed that you lived in Alicante.
Yes, of course. I mean,
it's the only place. I think it's the only place in Spain that Icelanders know of.
Yeah, no. It's like I think there's like 3,000 Icelandic people living in the Alicante region, which would make Alicante like the third largest like town in Iceland or something.
Right. I remember I went to Alicante years ago, and I was in the airport, and I was waiting at I think it was a Burger King at the airport, and I wasn't sure if it was open, but there was a line of people, and I just thought, you know what, like I'm going to Alicante. There's Icelanders. I just turned to the person in front of me and I said, "How do the það opið?" Which in Icelandic is, "Hey, is this open?" Yeah. He just looked back at me and just goes, "Ja, ég veit ekki. Hey, ertu íslenskur?" And I'm just like obviously I speak Icelandic. We're in Alicante, Spain.
I know.
Like, is there any other language to speak?
It's like because I like now I'm 26, but like in total I've lived in Alicante for like 20 years.
Okay.
So like on and off since I was like 5 years old. So I've been there for such a long time, and there's so many like crazy stories about Icelandic people in Spain. It's unbelievable.
Oh yeah.
Because like when like Icelandic people here, because like all right, if you go out here and you get drunk and you get into a fight and so like somebody you know is gonna see it.
Yeah.
But when you do it in Spain, it's very highly unlikely. So all like these people, they go over to Spain and it's just crazy.
So I mean, Spain is almost more of a place for someone who has like anxiety. It seems like it's the opposite, but it's like if you do something in Spain, no one's gonna find out. No one's gonna know.
Chill. Chill atmosphere as well.
You do something in Iceland and everyone finds out about it.
It's on Facebook, it's on everybody's Snapchat or whatever the fuck.
Yeah,
everybody knows. In Spain, it's like, mañana.
Like I was when I was in Spain, we a bunch of us were at a restaurant, and I was the only non-Icelander in my group.
Yeah.
So, and there was a couple Icelanders that sat down at the table next to us, cause Spain, and they're like having a conversation, and then out of nowhere, the guy in the group like pulls out his phone and just is having a conversation on his phone very loudly in Icelandic. And every once in a while, well, like I look at the people at the table that I'm with, and they're just staring at him like, is he really saying this in public? Yeah. And I look over, and the girl that, like the woman that he's with is like, Gunni, are you serious? And he just goes, like in Icelandic, he's just like, no one here speaks Icelandic. They won't know what I'm talking about. Meanwhile, I found out he was having a conversation about how his brother apparently just got out of prison, and he got like a sexually transmitted disease while he was there.
Real like Icelandic white trash stuff. It's like yeah.
And he was just so open about it because he's like, I'm in Spain. No one speaks Icelandic here. And then as soon as we were done, I stood up and in Icelandic, I went to my table. I was like, Ertu búin? And which means, are you done? And this guy just gets this look of horror on his face. He's just like, oh crap.
It's like, I was like, this is like a year after like the 2016 like European cup in football, and I was like out in Spain, and we were out in like a area was like full of nightclubs and stuff.
Right.
And I was wearing like the Icelandic like national shirt, like a football shirt, and I was there with like my brother who's also Icelandic, obviously, some friends of mine and all that, and there was this like super drunk group of Icelanders at like 9 p.m. and they're like, hey, do you study English? And I was like, no, you're Spanish. I am from Spain. And they were like, oh, why are you wearing the Icelandic shirt? Oh no, Islandia is muy bonito. Islandia is very good in football. You win England, very good. And they're like, oh, ekki máli, thank you, my friend, thank you.
You just trolled the shit out of them.
And then, like, throughout the entire night, like every half an hour, they would like come over to me. So how are you? And we're like looking at me like, we all know you're Icelandic, you son of a bitch. And I was like, hello, my Íslenska friends, like this. And then at like 5, my like younger brother comes like pick me up, and he's wearing like an Icelandic lopapeysa.
Right, yeah.
And they look over at me and they go like, you son of a bitch, we all knew you were Icelandic. It's like, it's me with the Icelandic football shirt, and he wearing like a homemade like lopapeysa. And also we're all like, including me, all of course tall and blonde and skinny. This is what I love about doing these kinds of shows.
No video.
Exactly.
I gotcha.
Beautiful stuff.
You're not that big. Come on. But well, anyway, but welcome back to Iceland. It's good to have you here now that everything might be going back to lockdown. But let's get to the reason why you're in the show. You have asthma. Well, you do have asthma, but no, you have a stutter, and I wanted to kind of start this off by kind of asking, like, I mean, how long have you had the stutter? Have you had it your whole life, or were you diagnosed later?
I've been told it only developed when I was like 5.
Okay.
But like I always had like a little bit of like a speech like impairment when I was a kid, but like most kids,
right?
How like, and then I went to the park and oh juice, something like that.
Yeah.
You aren't really that have developed yet, but like and then. When I'm like 5, then I sort of start to stutter, and by the time I'm like 8 and 10, then I'm just full-fledged, no holds back stuttering.
You were fully devoted.
Fully devoted.
You were in it to win it at that point.
I'm in this cult for life. I'm a level 5 stutterer, buddy.
Level 5 stutterer now.
Level 5 stutterer.
I
got 300 armor shields, bro.
Just like meeting like some young kids with like just getting the stutter for the like the beginning of it, and you're just looking at them like amateurs. You'll get there. Don't worry.
Yes, exactly.
And like when you were a kid, was it worse? Was it better? Was it?
When I was younger, it was actually kind of not that bad. Well, here's the thing, I always stutter, like no matter when I'm speaking English or Icelandic or Spanish or whatever.
Oh, so the language doesn't matter.
It doesn't really matter. What matters is like the way so, and even if I'm like happy or angry or anxious or like extremely horny, I'm kidding. It's just like a weird.
This is a family-friendly show. Just remember,
the views of the show do not the views of the comedian.
yeah.
Anyway, so yeah, but like there's some aspects like when I'm super angry, when I'm kind of drunk but not that drunk, and when I'm like, yeah, and those are like the only times when I don't really stutter, and also when I'm in like a character.
Yeah.
And when I'm doing karaoke, then I don't
yeah, because we talked about this, like, you know, well, not now, but we've talked about it before about the fact that when, like, it's you and I, like, stuttering and Tourette syndrome is kind of similar in that sense that when I do a character, like when I go on stage and I've done like the Barack Obama voice. You know, that voice, when I do it, I don't tend to have any of my tics.
No.
And when you go on stage and you do the voices, like I remember you used to have a joke that you did where you would do an offensive accent, and then you'd say, I'm not trying to be offensive.
Which one?
Yeah, right. You'd be like, I'm not trying to be offensive. It's just that I don't stutter while I do the accent.
Yeah, exactly.
And so it's interesting how that happens. And I mean, my theory on it is because it's a distraction from the brain.
Yeah, could really well be. It's like, 'cause you know, I've been to like all these kinds of like you know, experts and shit, psychologists and the talking ones. I don't know what they call them in English. All of these guys, and it hasn't really changed that much. Like nothing has helped me as much with my stuttering as just don't thinking about it.
Yeah, well, and I've noticed when you do stutter, you tend to kind of hit yourself.
Yeah, it's to get like a rhythm going.
Like a rhythm going.
Yeah,
you're recording a song.
Absolutely, every day.
Hey, just
live is a musical.
Constantly recording music. Just you've got like a recorder in your back pocket, and you're just like hitting the beats. And we think it's just because of the stutter. No, you're just like nope, just playing a song.
I'm a big blues guy.
Is it ever painful doing that?
Yeah. Well, I was in like a theater club in university, and like and like the first like times, cause it was like kind of like a serious play. So I like acted, okay, I'm not going to stutter in this play, and of course I started like a motherfucker, and then like I would come home like just like you know hurting, and like my like you know neck and stuff. And then I just like you know came to like the theater club lady, like the head of it. I said, you know what, like I like my character, it kind of has to stutter. Otherwise, it's gonna be pretty hard for me.
Yeah.
And she was like, "Okay, no problem. You can also do like a bit of like a comedy with it if you want to." Because I was like the third like main character, like a We'll be right back after the So, because my character was like a third wheel in like a love story kind of stuff.
Okay.
So I was like able to like you know convert my character into he stutters and he's also kind of funny. And when we actually hit the show, it was like I'm not gonna brag, but I was by far the best in this shit.
You know, I have to say real quick, I love the fact that like with you and Elva, because Elva has tics that cause her to like break in between sentences.
Yeah.
And you stutter during sentences.
Yeah.
So I've just gotten so used to just letting you guys you guys finish.
Absolutely.
Because of course, you know, that it's respect, you know, and all that stuff.
Absolutely.
But it's wonderful for me having ADD.
Yeah.
Because like I can't process the order correctly of thoughts in my head.
Yeah.
So as you guys are taking your time to process like what you're saying, I'm processing my thoughts. So we're just working as a team here.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's a beautiful thing.
Absolutely. Also, like when I was like a kid, I used to hate like the awkward like silences when you're stuttering. Now I thrive in those. Here's the moments I hit you. It's beautiful.
Well, it's kind of fun when you take like things from the disorder and you kind of make not fun of it, but you make light of it.
Yeah.
In the sense like like for the Fringe Festival this year in Iceland, I did a show called Squeak, and I'm apparently demonstrating why. I did a song for the intro, and I was like, I was just sitting here one night, like I think it was literally the night before the first show, and I was just like, you know what, screw it. I'm just gonna record my tics and put them in the intro song.
Yeah.
So I literally sat here like with a microphone, and I just went squeak, and then I sat here like I did that a few times. I was like squeak, squeak, and then I went woo, 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 and I put that into the song, and I was just like, that's great. And I listen, like every once in a while when you're stuttering, I'm just like, man, you'd get a great job doing like the voice of a snake in a cartoon or something like that.
Absolutely. It's it's also like a funny thing. Because like also like when I do like a characters, I never stutter. Like the only problem is all my characters are kind of like ethnically non-neutral, so the
right.
so it's a problem. No.
That's the problem.
That's the problem. No, it's fun.
But and when did you I mean, because you've been doing comedy now for a while. When did you decide to start like to talk about the stuttering right away, or
no. Like I was hoping to be like not like the comedian who stutters.
you didn't want to be known for it?
I know, but like when you stutter, it's kind of hard not to be at least a bit known for the most obvious thing about your persona. So no, but like no, I started comedy pretty much because I had like nothing else to do.
Yeah.
Just went to a few open mics, was absolutely horrible, and then I just kind of started coming back, and now I'm God damn it! I was going to say something so funny, and then my story ruined it. Anyway, what I was going to say is I wasn't that good. Now I'm top 5 worldwide. What's up, baby? Whoop, whoop.
I love though that idea of like not wanting to be not known just for the disorder though.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it does lead to some funny moments.
It does.
Well, like I was recently asked to do a gig, and a friend of mine was telling me about it. He's just like, yeah, so the guy contacted me, and he was like, well, I want you to do a set. And he's like, all right, and I want the bearded comedian. And my friend just looks at him and goes, you're gonna have to be a little more specific. There's a lot of bearded comedians. and he goes, the squeaky one with Tourette's. And he goes, that narrows it down a little bit. Yes.
Yeah, it's we had some fun in the Voices shows.
Yeah.
Fun, man. Just hope they come back one day.
Yeah. Well, we will bring them back.
Absolutely,
we will bring them back. But yeah, and I mean, but with you now, when you write the material though with the comedy, because I mean, yeah. When I remember when you started off, I'm not gonna say you were bad.
No, I was bad. I was fucking horrible.
No, but I mean, all of us.
I was also really drunk like the first couple of times. I would come on stage going like, yeah, I'm gonna need some alcohol to be up here.
Well, I remember though you had like, I don't remember the exact jokes, but I remember you had like good ideas for jokes.
Yeah.
But you didn't really have punchlines.
Absolutely.
And then but then after it was like, I think it was like 4 months or something that then you came back.
Yeah.
And you had jokes that you did, and literally a bunch of us were in the back going, did he steal that? Like we were all looking up all your jokes on our phone. We're like, that he couldn't have written that. Like,
I know.
But then it was just sort of from that point on, it's just everything that you wrote was consistent.
Yeah.
It was good. It was solid. It was great material.
Yeah. No,
even if it wasn't about stuttering, like you just had some great material that came out of nowhere.
No, it's just like at like that time I was living here in Iceland for the first time in like 12 years or something, and like I had no friends here, like knew nobody, and was working like a okay job, and so I came down to the comedy club just like out of accident one day, saw the show, came to an open mic, came to another one, and then like I think on the third open mic, like I really had like a real like a laugh.
Yeah.
I was like, oh shit, I like this. I love this stuff. So then I went home. I came like every weekend almost, but didn't go up on stage for a long time. And I came back just like prepared and just
So before that, you didn't know you liked laughter. You just wanted to be a guy that went on stage and talked.
Yeah.
And then one day people laughed and you were like, "Oh, I like that.
Yes.
Can I get more of that?"
No. The thing is, I was like the typical like asshole comedian who goes, "Yeah, I can do that."
Ah,
and then you
yeah.
go on stage and you go, "Well, no, actually, I can't."
Well, it's
I gotta prepare.
It is fascinating. Like I talked to Stepnet on this podcast about this. There are so many aspects of comedy that people don't think of, because everyone thinks it's just going on stage and telling a joke.
Yeah.
But what people don't realize is that you have to just constructing the joke. Like certain words are funnier than others. That's something you just have to know. You have to know about like stressing certain syllables. Like if I stress certain, it's weird. But if I'm just talking about like stressing certain syllables, with a little bit of a stress on it, it gets the point across more. There's also the performance on the stage. There's like, what do you do with your hands? No one ever knows what they do with their hands. With ticks, I just let my hands go for it.
Yeah.
But there's so many things that you do. And then there's, of course, if someone heckles, the list goes on and on and on.
Dan, have you ever tried doing comedy without like a... Comedy without a... without a... without a fucking break. Comedy without a microphone. Comedy without a microphone.
I have actually.
Yeah.
Well, sort of. Yeah. No, I did one. So I did a gig for a university group.
Yeah.
That I didn't have a mic for that one, and I had a sore throat at the time, so it was beautiful.
Yeah.
But then it was horrible.
No,
My throat was killing me after.
It's just so weird. Like, what do I do with my hands?
Yeah.
Ah.
Yeah, I did another gig where I had a headset microphone. And I was just like, I felt like I was doing a TED talk. I was like, what am I doing here? All right, let's move our hands. I don't know.
Exactly. And studies have shown that
yeah, exactly. But the thing is, like, I did one gig in LA where I had a microphone, but it wasn't working very well.
Yeah.
And I remember I went to do the like, I used to have that bit where I talked about Obama, like, and I would talk about like Obama with Tourette's syndrome. I'd be like, my fellow Americans, and then I had a bit where I went on and I did like an airline pilot. And to do that, I always grab the microphone and I go real close and I'm just like, ladies and gentlemen, welcome aboard flight number 666. But the thing is, when the mic wasn't working very well, I went to cup the mic and it just stopped working.
Yeah.
So everyone was like, wait, what's he saying? I don't get the... And that joke like flatlined.
Absolutely.
And I was just like, oh, man. But yeah, it is tough. I mean, with or without, like knowing what to do with your hands, it is just tough.
Yeah. No, but I love it. I love. Also, it's because I have like this like really like annoying annoying personality in that I stutter and everything, but I'm such an attention-seeking whore. Like, I love attention, no matter how it comes. Just I love being on stage, doing karaoke, being loud, just everything.
I love it. I love that when you stutter sometimes.
Yeah.
Like I have no idea what word you're gonna say sometimes, so I'm just like waiting for you as a comedian to just change the word at the last second.
I sometimes do. I'm like, and then I went to the. Fuck you guys. Like, oh shit. I did not see that coming. Jesus.
Yeah. Like and then I went to the France.
Yeah.
Wait, the France? That doesn't even make sense. Yeah, I was gonna say something else, but you know. But
I only knew, so go for, who knows. Also, this is one of the good things about stuttering, is that it's like when you're about to say something really like stupid, you can always stop. You can always go.
It's like
I had
it's
to
like
finish.
you've got a second chance there.
I got a second chance.
So it's like the like it's almost like a preventative like political correctness
Yes.
warning. So like if you're about to say something really politically incorrect,
Yeah.
you've got a chance to change your thought.
Stuttering are like out to like a political correctness, what the condoms out to having kids. It's like
It's a preventative
yeah,
measure.
it's a preventative measure.
I got you.
Absolutely.
But like continuing with the kind of comedy talk, like how
Yeah.
do you go about writing your material?
I
Do you have like a specific way, or is it just kind of a joke comes to your mind?
I am as cocky as I look and sound. I pretty much just go up on stage on open mics with like a semi idea that I have. I try it out in a couple ways. If it works, then I will then use it on like the other shows. But yeah, so it's kind of like that. I don't really write stuff down. I only write like, okay, I have this idea about this with this and that, and then I just, go up on stage on an open
Yeah,
mic and
It's
try it out.
it's amazing because I've talked to so many comedians that like you know that age old thing where it's like, oh, comedians sit down with a piece of paper and a pen and they
I've
write.
never done it.
I've almost never met a single comedian that actually
No.
does that.
I saw Eggert yesterday write down jokes, and I was like, wait, I've never seen this before. I've never seen anybody write down jokes.
Well, I do put them in my phone.
Yeah, yeah.
But the thing is, I do it when I like if something happens to me.
Yeah.
Well, like that joke I had about the dog on the bus, reacting to my ticks.
Absolutely.
Like when that happened, I went straight to my phone and I was just like, oh, this is gold.
Yeah.
This is going to my
Yeah.
set. But I never I rarely have those times where I just sit down and I think, okay, what do I want to write about?
Yeah, absolutely.
Because I find it tough because when you actually have to sit down and think, well, what do I want to write about? That's when you're like, well, what do I want to write about? I have no idea.
Yeah. I don't know. I like at least in like my comedy. I just like for me the most important thing is also like the way you like are on stage. I don't know. Like so, it's like I've often been told that like my like a comedy, writing
Mhm.
isn't that good, but like my comedy like performance is pretty
Right.
good. I don't know. That's what I've been told. So like maybe I have to like write them more down, like plan them better. But I haven't done it until now, and who knows?
All right. Well,
Maybe I'll try
hey,
it.
don't fix what ain't broken, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, if it works, it works.
It works.
But I'll switch this though. I want to ask because like with Tourette syndrome, I mean Tourette syndrome doesn't really get portrayed well in media, well, like in movies and
Well,
TV shows and stuff.
Dan, your Tourette's is actually kind of worse, isn't it? Tourette's syndrome does not get portrayed any better.
No, but
I'm sorry to say.
but like in terms of when you've seen people with a stutter
Yeah.
in movies or TV,
Yeah.
how do you feel it's been portrayed?
I mean, it's really stupid. It's like it's like a lazy joke as well, and it's like when I was in Spain, I was in like an area where there really isn't any comedy, but I saw this one guy who was playing, and I was like, oh shit, I'm gonna go, see him play and stuff. Yeah, so I want to see him. And like half of his act was just him going, hello! And I was like, Jesus Christ, buddy. And it was just like, and his jokes were mostly about like Down syndrome people and people who stuttered, and then people who had Down syndrome and stuttered.
Oh, but he didn't have any of that.
No. And I was just going like, dude, what are you doing, man? What are
Yeah.
you doing? Oh, come on.
But-
It is what are you doing? And it's like, it's too easy, too like, lazy. It's,
Well, it is an interesting point, though, is like, this is something I wanted to kind of talk about on this podcast, and I realize I haven't done it yet, is what is the difference between like empowering comedy and mocking? Like
Yeah,
kind of
yeah,
what's the difference between comedy and mocking? Because like I've thought about like with our show, I mean, if we think about it, our show is very much self-deprecating humor.
Very much.
But because we are, putting down the things that we have. But the thing about it is why I would say that our show is different because first of all, we have what we're talking about.
Yeah.
But also, even if we're talking about the things that each other has, it's all done out of like us learning about what each other has and doing it to make the other person feel better about what they have. It's not about mocking it and mocking the stuff and making like it out as this stuff is terrible.
No.
And I think that's kind of the difference.
No, it's like my worldview is this. So as long as it is not like done in like a harmful way, so if like the idea behind the joke is only for it to be a joke, then it's perfectly fine.
Right.
It's all good. It's all fine.
Yeah, I can see
now,
that.
Some jokes are gonna be too easy, too simple, too stupid. Yeah, okay. But as long as it's all like only supposed to be fun, then who cares?
Well, because
At least I don't care.
Because when it comes to Tourette syndrome, like I have heard so many jokes about Tourette syndrome from people coming up to me like, "Hey, do you mind if
Sorry, Dan.
like when people see, I love this. When people come up to me and they're like, "Hey, I just wrote a joke about Tourette syndrome. Do you mind if I get your blessing for it or whatever?"
Yeah.
And I'm just like,
oh, great one.
yeah, and in my head, I'm going, all right, so I know already what the joke is, and it's always a Copperlelli joke. It's always about shouting out swear words.
Absolutely.
And here's the thing, like, in my opinion, with this as a comedian, if the joke is clever and the joke is like thought out fine, even if it's making fun of Copperlelli, like I get the joke. I don't necessarily think it's worth it. I don't necessarily personally think it's funny, but I get the joke. I get the point of it. If it's crafted well enough. But the thing is, it's just so lazy at this point to do that kind of material. Like if someone came to me and they were like, "Hey, I wrote this Tourette joke," and it's just like, all right, it's gonna be Copperlelli. But then it's about for example, like if it's about like arm like the arm tics that are similar to things I have or something like that, I'm actually relating more with it than something that like, because I don't have Copperlelli. I mean, I have tics that cause me to say words every once in a while, but it's a different kind of tic. And I like that you brought up the laziness factor, because I think that's most of why people get pissed off. It's not the joke. Like there was a joke in the new Sabrina show that came out like not terribly long ago. And it was someone was saying that someone was possessed, and they were like, "What? Like people with schizophrenia or Tourette syndrome?" And I was like, "Oh, that's such a clever joke." And so many people in the Tourette community were so pissed off about it, because they were offended by it. And I was like, "Guys, no, it's so clever because people used to literally think people with schizophrenia and Tourette syndrome were possessed by demons. That's a joke no one friggin' talks about, but it's that was such a clever reference."
No, but like now, like for me personally, I'm like a young, white, European, heterosexual man. Yes, I stutter, but it's still pretty good. So I'm, if people go like, "Hey Hans," make a little bit of fun of my stuttering, I'm like, yeah, but I still won the lottery, kind of. It's still pretty good.
It is kind of. Well, it is kind of that thought of like, as long as the intention is right.
Yeah, exactly.
No, because like I've noticed. I mean, like, look, all of us as comedians, we make fun of each other. It doesn't even matter if we have disorders or anything. We make fun of each other for like. I mean, I can't tell you how many.
Especially Einar.
Einar does get the. He's the butt of a lot of the jokes. Yeah.
I just saw him yesterday for the first time as I came back.
But you know what though, like that guy though, like he like through all the shit that's been said to him, he sticks with it. That guy, like, and I feel bad because like the thing is, like I've talked to him because I was like, when I've made fun of you, it's never been about like anything serious. It's always just been, we're comedians, we pick on each other. Absolutely. That's all it is. But
fun.
Yeah, but I love like when we do voices and we do the like when I introduce everyone, I always have a joke about what they have.
Yeah.
Because it always gets the crowd ready for the, like, it's like what Elva said. It's like she does her tics and she's just like, so when I do this, just please laugh. Because otherwise it's going to be really unpleasant for all of us. And it is that thought of like, you know, if I make a joke about you having a stutter before you go on stage, people are like, oh, he's going to stutter. Yeah. And they're already in tune with that. And then they already go, okay, he's okay with us laughing when he stutters. Yeah. And and at his jokes about stuttering.
No, it's like when I was living in Spain last time, I was working in a real estate. So, and obviously, when people meet you for the first time, they always go, "Oh, is he nervous? What's wrong? Oh, poor thing." They always go like this. So every time I meet somebody that like, okay, I'm gonna try to like me and these people, we like need to like have a nice talk.
Right.
Always make a joke about my stutter. Ha 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 ha, and then we go. Yeah. And people go, "Okay, it's all fine. Thank you. It's all good." It's like that's like the thing I always have to like open with to just to like it's his armament, so it doesn't really influence people. Because every time I meet somebody just out in the street, it's always like, wait, is he drunk or is he just nervous or is he fine? Maybe it's fine. Who knows?
Well, it is an interesting. I mean, how do you feel about the fact that you have to you feel you have to tell people about it? Because the thing is, like with me, I mean, I typically don't tell people that I have Tourette syndrome until they ask. Yeah. But I do every once, like if I'm doing an interview or something, I go just so I have Tourette syndrome. Yeah. So I do this this stuff, and but typically it's like. I don't know. I just don't really think about it anymore. I think that's really it.
No, it's like my stuttering. It doesn't have any influence on me, like psychologically. It's just like, yes, I stutter, but I'm also 67 centimeters tall and 47 kilos. No, I'm kidding. And
but I love the idea though of like. Did you ever see the movie Robin Hood Men in Tights?
Oh yeah.
Remember the scene? So the king in that movie has the mole.
Yeah.
And like every time he's on screen, it changes locations on his face. And at one point, one of the sheriff goes, "Sir, I hope you don't mind me asking, but wasn't your mole on the other side?" And he goes, "I have a mole." And I think of that every time someone says to me like, "Hey, whoa, why is your voice cracking so much?" I always want to go, "I have a voice crack."
Yeah. No, I actually have like done this a couple times. Like people go, "So how long have you? How long have you the thing? How long have you stuttered?" And I go, "When I stutter," and I just look at him like. You're crazy, lady. I don't stutter. You're hearing stuff. And
I love though. It is kind of fun though to be on that side of it.
Yeah.
Like when because I mean we have that opportunity to just make people feel so bad. We don't.
So uncomfortable.
I know. Like when people feel so uncomfortable asking you. Because like they feel. I've had so many times where people have been like. How like they don't ask why I do something. They're just like, how long have you been like they're trying to find the words to say because they don't know how to say it. And like I've seen people like when they say to you like how long have you had the stutter, but they don't know how to ask it. They're like, how long have you had the and then you just go, oh, the stutter.
Yeah,
and they go, yeah. Like they get taken back like when they realize that they were right.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, why were you asking if you were afraid you were wrong? Just ask. It's fine to ask us. I mean, I'm okay with people asking why my voice cracks. I'm okay with people asking why my hand shakes.
Absolutely. And also like I think that like there's like nothing as important. There you go. than to like just be like confident in your own self.
Mm-hmm.
So if you stutter, yes, but just don't worry about it so much.
I like
if you're small, if you're fat, if you're whatever, just it's fine.
I like how you give yourself little bits of encouragement every time you get a word out. You stutter and then you get it out and then you're like, there you go.
Yeah, I know, it's like good boy, Hans, good boy.
But before we get toward the end of this, I did want to talk about a couple other things. 'Cause there's one thing that you talk about on stage. You talked about how you were born with a condition where one of your legs is longer than the other.
It's called Russell-Silver syndrome in the US.
Right.
And in the UK, it's called Silver-Russell because one of the guys was American, one of the guy was English. So they competed whose name goes first, which is hilarious.
See which one was more popular.
Yes, exactly. So and it's like a genetic disorder.
Okay.
It means that like the left side of my entire body is 10% smaller than the right side.
Interesting.
So just like everything in my grandmother.
Oh.
Literally, my grandmother going, so are we going to eat tonight? Jesus Christ. Anyway, sorry about that. So, anyway, so
your phone was just going, no problem.
Yes. Get the fuck out of here! I thought I put it on silent. I'm gonna text to. Oh yeah, it's a new phone. So like, if I have to put it on silent, I have to go on 4 different places.
I thought you were gonna say you were gonna message your grandmother back, going, "New phone, who dis?"
I'm gonna. Anyway, so to start again. So yes, I have a thing called Silver-Russell, and it means that the left side of my body is 10% smaller than the right side, which includes my eyes, my hands, my lungs. Like one lung is actually smaller than the other.
Okay.
When I was a kid, it like was kind of like a serious because it had some heart like problems that came with it and stuff.
Okay.
But that was all like was solved when I was really young. So yeah, it's like I think it was the first like 4 years of my life. I was 3 in a hospital.
Really?
Yeah, because I was like really ill. And like I was only supposed to be like 1 meter, like 45, 1 meter 50.
Okay.
But then I grew a lot more. So like I was supposed to be like much worse than I am, and it's like now the only like real thing I have a bit of asthma, I have a stutter, and then I'm just chubby. But that's my fault.
Well,
that has nothing to do with my genetics. That's just me being a lazy guy. So I'm really lucky.
Yeah.
To be here. So I'm just happy.
Yeah. Well, and like with the Russell Silver, did it kind of is it the kind of thing where it kind of solved itself over time, or was there surgery or something like that?
I had like a heart operation when I was like a week, I don't know, like.
But it was just on the heart.
Very young, yeah, on the heart. But yeah, that was like the only real stuff. Then I've been on some kind of like a hormone therapy, like almost all my life. Hence the huge, swelling, yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, thank you, sir. And but yeah, besides that, it's.
So you don't have to wear like a padded shoe or anything.
No, I used to. I needed to have like one shoe that I was like raised up 6 centimeters. So until I was 17, I used to walk basically in one heel. Which again is one of the reasons why I was made a lot of fun of in school.
Yeah.
But then when I was 18, I had like a operation on my leg. And it was like lengthened.
Okay. So you did have
I did really have. Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, had you like saw me when I was like 18 or 17, you'd have gone, yeah, I can see it. It's pretty obvious.
I was wondering though, do you think so? The guys that invented it, as you say,
yes, those bastards.
did they was it? I wonder if like Russell was taller and Silver was shorter.
Yeah.
And then they met someone who had both.
Yeah.
They were shorter and taller than themselves. And then they were like, all right, so we'll call it Russell Silver. But the competition was which side was more popular. Was it the shorter or the taller side, which was more popular? I wonder if that was the competition they had with themselves.
Yeah, could very well be.
We'll never know.
We'll never know, I guess. No, but it's like I have like I have the Rettast.
Right.
I have a tattoo.
Mm-hmm.
Which says
You're just acknowledging yourself again.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Which says that Rettast, which in English would mean like, it's all gonna be okay, it's all gonna be fine. It's like a national slogan of Iceland. And I have that on the, smaller, side
Okay.
of my body. So I have Rettast, and then I'm gonna have something else here. It's all like, about these kinds of stuffs.
Yeah. I actually have Tetraetist as well tattooed on my body.
Yeah.
I got it for immigration purposes.
Yeah,
you know?
exactly.
because I mean, if you go in immigration and you have Icelandic tattooed on your arm, they go, oh, you're just Icelandic. Okay, go on in.
Yeah, you can go in.
But I got Tetraetist Konski because who knows if things will work
absolutely.
out.
Absolutely.
I just did that for the joke of it. I feel like I kind of screwed up though, because like I love that I'm showing you this like we have a camera.
Yeah.
But like, so on my arm I have the tattoo that has like basically it's like a ribbon, and it's got 3 spots in it that I can have words in.
Yeah.
And I got Tetraetist on 2 of them, and then I put Konski on the 3rd one. But Konski was like a later addition to it.
Okay.
I didn't have that at first. Originally, it was just Tetraetist, and then there was a blank piece of ribbon on the bottom. And I realized afterward I should have kept it blank and just written in a new thing every day.
Yeah, too.
So
too.
like Thodotler was talking about how it should be Tetraetist Mama. Like one day, just mom, things will work out, or like Tetraetist Iceland, just writing in a different thing every day would have been fun.
Yeah.
But I do love. I mean, my friend Nick Jameson, got one of our friends. Yeah, he wrote a joke with Tetraetist Konski just because of my tattoo.
Oh, really? That's
So I was
cool.
it has led to some good things.
It's really good.
And has the asthma affected your comedy at all?
Not really. Well, I mean, not really.
It's really just the stuttering that's affected the comedy.
Yeah, really. Like the asthma, I have my, inhaler, so if something happens, I have it, but that's about it. Nothing really else.
Yeah, it's a good thing we're in Gamesless Studio on the top floor of the building.
Absolutely.
Exactly.
With no lift.
But anyway, well, we're getting down to the end here, but Hans, thank you so much for being on the show. It's been absolute pleasure talking to you. Hopefully we'll get to perform more, together.
Absolutely.
And hopefully in other countries soon. I mean, this would be absolutely amazing. To the listeners, this is just I'm preparing for the outro.
Yes.
Preparing. It's like Elvis says, I have to warm down, cool down, before I go into the outro. No, basically. So to those of you listening in, this has been My Voices Have Tourettes, the podcast. We hope you guys have enjoyed it. If you want to find out more information about us, you can find us on Facebook or Instagram at My Voices Have Tourettes. We have a Twitter at MVHT Show. We also have MVHTshow.com. If you have any questions you want us to answer in the podcast, or any topics you want us to discuss, send them to info@mvhtshow.com. That's info@mvhtshow.com. If you would like to support the show, help keep this show going as long as possible, maybe help us get some better equipment, and hopefully get some video equipment eventually so we can turn this into a video podcast, check out paypal.me/mvhtshow. That's paypal.me/mvhtshow. You can find out about our sponsors, Gamesless Studio, where we are recording. They have a Facebook. Check them out. There's also The Secret Cellar, Iceland's first and only comedy club, on Facebook, Instagram, and thesecretcellar.is. Then there's Smári's Volcano Sauce, my favorite hot sauces on the planet. Check them out on Facebook, Instagram, and smárisvolcanosauce.com. You can check the description below for all the links that I'm mentioning right now. This podcast is available on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Stitcher Podcasts, YouTube, and more. If you like the podcast, please rate it in streaming services. If you give us a 5 stars, we will love you forever. You are welcome to leave us a 1-star review, but if you do, remember that several of us have anxiety and panic disorder, and we'll remember this for the rest of our lives. But we will still love you, of course. So feel free to do that. Feel free to follow and share the podcast to anyone and everyone you think would love this. And once again, thank you so much for listening, and check out new episodes every Tuesday.